we produce something that is magnificent and science fiction at its finest.
They didn't de-extinct anything. I think the whole headline is bullcrap. It's not de-extinction. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Today, Dad is investigating the dire wolf story that's all over the news. Colossal Bioscience claims to have resurrected dire wolf, and Today.com, USA Today, Slate, Vox, Mashable, all your favorite mainstream media news sources are reporting in that this is indeed true.
Over 10,000 years ago, a howl was lost to time. But today it returns. Meet Remus and Romulus.
A great choice of names there. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with Romulus and Remus. Romulus and Remus were the founders of Rome. Some would argue the greatest civilization to ever exist on Earth.
The first two direwolves since the Pleistocene era. At just 15 days old.
I also noticed right away that they have a voice from what I would call like the old science videos that most of us grew up with. People my age grew up and would watch these science videos in class.
But one by one, problems give way to solutions.
And the voice of the person talking right now is that exact voice. Screams that this is legitimate, this is real, this is science.
The pups take their first wobbly steps before a much-needed nap time. At 1 month, the pups enter a pivotal stage of development.
Puppies are adorable and they're cute, and not for nothing, but when I'm looking at this, it doesn't scream dire wolf to me. This just looks like another dog. I'm sorry to say. Maybe it looks a little bit more wolfy than maybe other puppies, but there's nothing that screams at me that this is something very different than the thousands of different types of dogs I see all the time.
The transitional phase. Here, they begin to growl, chew, and take the first steps into the world beyond the den. But growing up is no small task, and these little ones have certainly earned their rest. 3 months in, the pups begin socialization, a key phase in their development. Weaning starts gradually, while play sharpens their instincts and strengthens their bonds. Chewing is serious business. Antlers and sticks help keep their fangs fit and strengthen their bones. At 5 months, a new instinct awakens. The pups begin to sense structure, challenge one another, and learn the rules of the pack. This stage is marked by rapid growth and an emerging awareness of social hierarchy.
Emerging social hierarchy, and you just see two dogs running around in a pen, and they kind of look like wolves a little bit.
Tussles, tackles, and toothy grins. Roughhousing may look like play, but it's serious practice for life in the pack.
You know, now they've added the sunglasses, give it the cool font. Encore 2025, straight out of 8500 BCE. I'm sorry, that just looks like a dog. I'm sorry. Tell me whatever you want.
But wait, there's more. Meet Khaleesi, the first female direwolf brought back from extinction. She may be small now, but she's destined to stand as an equal among her brothers.
They keep making this claim like we've brought it back from extinction, but nowhere in the video yet have we seen something where they explain how you prove that you did that.
A fierce force in the making. Their journey is only beginning. Subscribe now to witness the rise of the direwolves, step by primal step.
The name of the company is called Colossal Bioscience. It's a private company, not publicly traded. It achieved a $10.2 billion valuation after securing $200 million in Series C funding in January 2025. So here's why the videos come out, ladies and gentlemen. They've achieved a valuation of $10.2 billion. Somebody just dumped a whole bunch of money into this, $200 million. And those investors want to know that their money is leading to something good. So now we have them pumping out all these stories. Let's just take a today.com review of what's going on and see how they report on this.
It's an animal that hasn't existed for some 13,000 years. The dire wolf, made famous on the television series Game of Thrones.
It's a dire wolf.
There are no dire wolves south of the wall.
No, there are 5.
But the long extinct species now making global headlines for a new reason. A Dallas-based biotech company saying they've resurrected the giant Ice Age wolf, essentially bringing it back to life through a process called de-extinction.
Colossal is the world's first de-extinction company, and our goal is to make extinction a thing of the past.
Colossal says they've genetically engineered 3 wolves that they say resemble the dire wolves. The company sharing these videos showing the animals howling
That resemble the dire wolves through genetic editing.
cubs, and here sleeping and running in their habitat at an undisclosed secure location in the U.S.
People think it's a scary word, de-extinction. They immediately put us with Jurassic Park, and it's not. We're trying to develop these new techniques in order to save animals.
But the process does sound like something out of the 1993 blockbuster. The company says scientists relied on ancient preserved DNA from a tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull to decipher the dire wolf genome. They then used gene editing technologies to rewrite the genetic code of the common gray wolf.
So one at a time, we take our gene editing tools and we go.
So that's important. They're rewriting the code of the gray wolf. They're taking the gray wolf code and then they're taking some code from an old tooth and an old skull, and they're trying to pull out things that they deem are what makes you a dire wolf, and then insert those into places on the gray wolf genome. What you end up with is a gray wolf with a few pieces of dire wolf genome embedded in them. I don't think that should represent the de-extinction of a species. If we took a few pieces of DNA from something like Homo erectus or Homo habilis, if we had something like that, and we put just a couple little pieces into a human, and then we gave birth to whatever that product was, I don't think we'd say that we de-extincted Homo erectus or Homo habilis. I just think we would say we took a human and we put some old genes from another organism into it, and we've almost just made something totally new. It's almost like a Frankenstein is the way I would describe it. Not necessarily that you're de-extincting something. The mainstream media is just running with this with no questioning of it, constantly relating it to Jurassic Park. Really makes my antenna stand up in situations like this, like widespread smattering of it everywhere with very little scrutinizing of it, because it doesn't seem like de-extinction to me. It seems like a company that needs to prove to the people that gave it $200 million back in January that good things are happening, we have good press, and your money was well spent. And our company really is worth $10 billion. Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't.
Into that cell and we cut out the bit of DNA that looks like a gray wolf and paste in its place the DNA that looks like a dire wolf.
Once a new genome was created, domestic dogs were used as surrogates, miraculously giving birth to Romulus, Remus, and their sister Khaleesi. Yes, named after Game of Thrones. But this scientific feat, no fantasy, and some online already questioning whether it's a step too far. Still, the technology is here, and scientists say it could shape the future of our ecosystem.
We produce something that is magnificent and science fiction at its finest.
They didn't de-extinct anything. I think the whole headline is bullcrap. It's not de-extinction. USA Today. Jurassic Park ties in. There's the cute dog. Sorry, that just looks like a wolf or a dog.
Yes, they have slightly genetically modified wolves, maybe. And that's probably the best that you're going to get. And those slight modifications seem to have been derived from retrieved direwolf material. Does that make it a direwolf? No. Does it?
Oh, thank you. I mean, that's exactly what I've been saying. So USA Today actually is giving some credence to questioning this headline.
Make a slightly modified gray wolf? Yes. And that's probably about it.
Obviously, we think it's unethical not to do this, right? Like, we are eradicating species as humans at an alarming rate. We're changing our climate at an alarming rate. We are cutting down forests and doing deforestation. We are polluting our planet with plastics at an alarming rate. And so we need new opportunities for this.
All right, here's something you can remember about Ben Lamb here. Ben Lamb is focused on one thing, and that's making money. And he's going to spin it to you that he's here to try to solve the world's problems of climate change and deforestation and species extinction. Like, look at me, I'm going to save species and bring them back to life and put it into the Jenga pyramid. And okay, give me a break. You're literally just trying to justify the probably way overblown valuation on your $10 billion company. Is the science pretty cool that you can take genes from one thing and put them into something else? Absolutely. That is really cool and offers possibilities for all sorts of advancements in medical technology. But Ben Lamb and Colossal CEO didn't figure that out, all right? They're just using that tool that has been built on literally the public dime and publicly funded research. I'm not sure what the specific value they've created or they're bringing here, because again, it just looks to me like it's a wolf that you've subbed in some genes successfully and like, yeah, okay, that's cool. But you didn't de-extinct anything. You just want to justify your $10 billion valuation, Ben.